Hello everyone, my name is Asad Siddiqui and welcome to my step-by-step WordPress video tutorial. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create awesome business websites using WordPress and the premium WordPress B theme. So how is my tutorial different to a bunch of tutorials that are available on YouTube today? How it is different is I'm not gonna restrict you about how your WordPress website looks and feels. In fact, I'm gonna teach you how to create a highly customized WordPress website that is tailored for your business needs. So we will build a website that looks and feels like this. But by the end of this video, you'll not only be able to create this, but you'll also be able to create something that looks like this. Or something that looks like this. In fact, the powerful WordPress B theme comes with more than 230 professionally built layouts that you can utilize towards your project. So this can give your project a head start, and I will show you every step that you need to do to import this demo content and then to customize it for your requirements. So our relationship just doesn't end at this video. I will document each step on my website to make it easier for you to follow along, and I will be able to support you in case you are stuck at any step. And you do not need any experience with HTML and CSS. This is all drag and drop and copy and paste, and I'll show you how easy it is. So I am really excited to take this journey to build your WordPress website. And I hope that you are as excited as I am. So let's get started. So before I go any further with my tutorial, I need to explain to you what do we mean by domain and hosting and why it is important for our site to be online. So what is a domain? A domain is simply a business name that people will type into their browser's address bar to get to your website. So this is my own website and my business name is iDesignSmart.com. For Google, it will be google.com. For Yahoo, it will be yahoo.com. And for you, it will be yourbusinessname.com. The second most important thing that you need to get online is hosting. And hosting is simply a server where all the files, databases, WordPress software, all the resources that make up your website lives. And this server has to be accessible at all times, so your people can access your website. So the next step, or step one in building our website, will be to purchase domain and hosting. So the question is, what kind of hosting do you need and what hosting company do you go with? Personally, for me, I would go with something that is very reliable, high performance, with great support, and above all, it should be a good value for my money. So that is also a really important factor. I keep researching this area because I have a lot of different sites hosted with a lot of different hosting companies. So I was on this WordPress.org official hosting recommendation page, and one of the companies listed here is SiteGround. So SiteGround, what caught my attention was the solid state drives in their shared hosting environments and PHP 7. Of course, they have a lot of WordPress tools, one-click installs and migration that will make my job easier. So I gave them a try, and so far I'm extremely happy with how my hosting support is. So I worked out a deal with them where if you use the link in the description, not only you will get the best price and a huge discount, but you will also get a free domain for the life of your hosting. So if you just want to follow along step by step, you can simply click on the link in the description of this video, and that will bring you to the SiteGround hosting page. So once you are here, you simply have to click on the web hosting learn more button, and then you have to make a choice between the startup and the grow big plan. So the choice really is between the one website versus the multiple websites. So here you can see that you're getting a 60% discount on your sign up, and you are getting a 45% discount on the grow big plan. So if you are going to go with a single site, you can go with the startup. If you're going to go with multiples, then you can go with grow big. I'm not big on the space, so I think 10 GB is sufficient space for a small to mid-sized small business website. So I'm gonna go with the startup plan, and I will simply click on get started. and then you just have to fill in your free domain. So this is included free with your sign up, and you're already getting a 65% discount. And they also offer a monthly trial, so you can go for a trial and see how it is, and if you like it you can keep it. If you don't, you can simply transfer it to another host. So here you can put in, I will just put in my domain name. So wptutorialsguy.com is going to be my domain, and I will say register domain and proceed. So on the next page, you simply have to fill in this form where you will put in your detail, your personal detail, your billing information, and your what kind of hosting you're going with. So something important to note is here is where you select your plan. Here is the trial that I mentioned, and what you should do, or what I recommend you to do, is not to go with any of the paid extra services. So domain registration is free. Domain privacy, you don't need that. If you do, you can get it at any point. So that is just extra cost for hosting. So you can uncheck that box, and simply select what kind of plan you're gonna go with. Put in all this personal detail and your billing information, and simply click on pay now. And once you get that hosting, we will start installing WordPress on the hosting, and I'll show you how simple it is. Now, of course, you're free to get whatever hosting you like, and this tutorial doesn't depend on what kind of hosting you have, but I just wanted to show you the SiteGround hosting and what I will use for the rest of the tutorial. So there are a couple important things that we are going to do in the cPanel to increase the memory of our hosting for optimal performance and be able to import all the demo content. So let's install. I've already purchased this hosting, and I already have the hosting account set up. So let's get started with installing WordPress on the cPanel now. So once your checkout process has complete on SiteGround, you will get an order confirmation email, and in this email they will just ask you to log into the SiteGround account. So you need to go to siteground.com, and then you need to enter your username and password that you selected during your sign up process. So once you do that, you will come to that screen in the back end. So the SiteGround account, you need to go to the second tab which says My Accounts. Remember, this is not the same as the cPanel. So this is just a page that will be displayed and that has your account information. So you will be able to see your domain over here, and all the rest, like your FTP details will be here, your server location will be here, and all the very helpful information is here. So here you see a button that says go to cPanel. So you can access the cPanel from within the backend of SiteGround. You can also access the cPanel, I believe, by clicking this button here. So it says access cPanel securely. You can click on this button, or you can click on this button. So I'm just gonna click on go to cPanel, and I will say proceed, and now it's going to take me to the cPanel. So this is how the cPanel looks like. You see all the different services, all the FTP accounts and usernames. FTP users can be set up here, and like file manager and domain manager is here. So you don't need to do anything. What you need to do is to scroll down, and you will see a tab called WordPress Tools. The first tab that you see over there is called WordPress Installer. So we'll just click on WordPress Installer here, and once we click on the WordPress Installer, it brings us to this Softaculous Scripts installer. So I will just click on the Install Now button at the bottom. So I will click on Install Now, and now it asks me to fill in a bunch of things. So protocol HTTP is good. If you are going to do SSL certificates and HTTPS, then you need to do HTTPS. But for our default vanilla tutorial, we just do HTTP. Here you want to choose the domain. So my domain is wptutorialsguy.com. So that is the domain where I want to install WordPress. The directory, you can just leave the directory empty, and you don't need to put in any information here. If you want to install WordPress in a separate directory, like for example if you're doing a separate development site or some staging or some experimentation, then you can specify the name of the directory where you want to specify your or install your WordPress. Then comes your site settings. These settings are used by the WordPress install itself. So the site name, you can just enter what your site name is going to be, and your site, and of course you can change this information once you log into your WordPress as well. So the site description, and enable multi-site, you should not check that because it will try to install the WordPress multi-site. The admin username and the admin password, and the email. Remember, on this email you'll get an email that your installation is complete, and please write down this username and this password. These are very important things because you'll need to log into your WordPress backend with this information. So language, you can select your language, and I'll just select English. If you want to limit login attempts, then you can do this, but it installs a plugin, so I'll just avoid that at the moment. I try to install as minimum plugins as I have to because extra plugins will require more memory and can slow down your site. Choose a theme to install. Because we are going to work with the premium B theme, we do not need to select a theme here, so just leave it at none. You don't need to worry about any of the advanced options, and there are not many, so you can just click on the install now button. And once you click on the install now button, it'll scroll up to the page and you will start to see progress over here. And once it's done with the 100%, it will show you the login, the backend of your WordPress website. And it will also send you, I think it does send you an email as well where you can verify all your detail. So what we are interested in is we are going to go in WordPress or wptutorialsguy.com/WP admin. That's our WordPress install. So just click on that. And after you click on it, you will come here to the dashboard of the WordPress. So this is the backend where we will be working with. If it looks a little overwhelming at this moment, you do not have to worry about it. I promise you that these things will look very, very familiar and you will know exactly what these things are. So most of these things, they don't mean anything to you. And a great thing about SiteGround is the clean install that it gives you. So you see that there is no bloatware here, so there's no Mojo Marketplace and a bunch of plugins and themes installed. This is a clean install without any extra softwares that you don't need. Before I go any further and explain to you why you need the B theme to create the website that we want, I will give you a tour of your WordPress site. If you're already familiar with how things work here and how the backend works, then you can just skip this step and follow along with the next step that is in the description of this video. So you can always open your site up from the dashboard and see how it looks. And to do that, you need to just hover over the extreme left-hand side corner and you'll see a visit site here. So right click on that and open link in a new tab. Why I do that is I want to be able to access the backend because that's where we will be working. So currently your site looks like this, and it has a 2017 theme, I believe, which is the default in the WordPress now, and it has all the posts showing up. So these are some sample posts from the blog that they have. You can see that this layout is pretty boring, nothing exciting about it. I cannot even see the menu. So we are actually not going to be working with this theme, but we will be working with the premium B theme. So the next step is to log in to the Theme Forest account and you are going to purchase the theme. So the link to get the B theme is in the description of this video. What I am going to do is to simply log on to my Theme Forest account because I already purchase the theme, and I will just sign in. And once you're signed in to your ThemeForest account, what you need to do is to hover over your username and click on the downloads button. So once you are there, the B theme will show up right there, and you can click on the green download button here and select all files and documentation. I already downloaded it, so I'm not gonna download it again, but this is what you need to do. So you click on all files and documentation like that, and then you can save this on your computer anywhere, and then go to that location and unzip it. So I just saved this as btheme.zip, and I can select the location where I need to save it. I will just do it on the desktop. I already have the B theme there because I extracted the zip folder and I did this process. But for your scenario, you will need to just download it and just unzip it like I did. And then we will go ahead and install your WordPress theme on your WordPress account. So that's the ThemeForest part. Now I'm assuming that you have the theme and you downloaded it. So what we are going to do now is go back to your dashboard. The other thing that I wanted to show you in the WordPress backend, all the pages of your site will be here under pages. All the posts, like the blog post, will be here under post, and you have different blogging categories and you have tags and things like that. The third most important component that you will have is the plugins. So all the plugins will be here, and I'll be showing you how to install some of the premium plugins that come with WordPress. So just so you are familiar with how this screen looks, I'm just gonna click it, and you see the 3 plugins that are already there, which WordPress comes with. I'm just gonna delete these plugins because I don't use them. But if you use them or you want to use them, you can feel free to do that. But I am a fan of keeping the things minimal and getting it to work. So that's the most lightweight thing that we can do. So all your themes are under appearance in the WordPress dashboard, and you simply click, want to hover over the appearance and go to themes. So as you can see, the default WordPress comes with 3 themes, 2015, 2016, and this is the latest one called 2017. But if you are going to go with that, what you can do is just click that and activate it. So once you change the theme, what I want to show you, and refresh the page, the look and feel of the site is completely going to change. So now you see that recent post is here and search is here and your articles are here. So basically what I'm trying to explain is the whole look and feel of your website will change when you change the theme. So we are not going to work with these. We are going to work with the premium B theme, and how you are going to upload it is simply click on the add new button here, and then click on the upload theme button here, and then choose a file. Now wherever you unzip the B theme directory, just go there, premium B theme, premium WordPress theme, and select the file called B theme. So once you do that and click on install now, it is going to install the theme. Okay, looks like my theme installed successfully, so I am going to activate it. So it means this is the theme that we are applying on our WordPress install, and this is what we will be working with. So now I will just leave it here at this screen and go to the second tab where my site is, and I'll just refresh it. So once you refresh it, you see that the B theme is now installed and the look and feel of the site again has completely changed. So now what we are going to do is to simply activate all the plugins that we need to import the demo content. So to do that, you will click on Begin Install Plugins and you will say Install for the Contact Form 7. Return to the required plugins. Install the Slider Revolution. Return to the plugins. Install the duplicate post. Return to the plugins. And install the Force Regenerate Thumbnails. And return to the plugins. I'm not gonna install the Layer Slider and Visual Composer because that's not something I'm using for this site. So I don't want to make my site heavy by installing them. So once you install them, you also need to activate them. So we will just go ahead and do that. So that is now activated. This one is gonna take more time because this is a pretty big and heavy duty plugin. But a lot of sample content on the B theme uses this plugin. So that is in our agency demo that we are going to work with also uses this plugin. So that is why I am doing that. The other two plugins that you see here called Duplicate Post and Force Regenerate Thumbnails are used to import the sample content. So that's why I'm using those. And I will activate the Force Regenerate Thumbnails. Okay, so now I have all the plugins set up, and if you want to take a look at it, go ahead and click on the plugins screen on your screen, and you can see that Slider Revolution, Force Regenerate Thumbnails, Duplicate Post, and Contact Form 7 are installed. So that's all good. Now what we want to do is to just refresh the site and make sure it's up and nothing is really changing after installing the plugins. And on this screen, if you want to deactivate a plugin, you can deactivate it. And if you want to go to the settings page of the plugin, you can click on the settings if it offers any settings. So far I think we are doing fine. Now what we want to do is to import the sample content on the site. So what we are going to do is to hover over Appearance here and select B Theme Demo Data. So click on that. And now the import, we are going to select Demo. And the demo or pre-made layout, we are going to select Agency. And we are going to select Import Attachments and Import Demo Data. Okay, so it says all done and have fun. It means that everything is imported now. The second step that we need to do is to make sure that our Revolution slider is also imported. So we are going to click on the Slider Revolution. And you see these three boxes here. So the third box says Import Slider. So this layout also comes with a slider. So we are going to click on that, choose File. Now we are going to go to the Slider Revolution demo in our zipped file. So go there, click on Demos, and then select the agency.zip file here. So double click that and say Import Slider. So this is gonna take a few seconds and then we'll see an informational screen like that says the slider import was successful, and it's gonna redirect us in 3 seconds. So now you see a home agency slider come in here, and that means that the pre-made layout that we are going to work with will have a slider called Home Agency that it uses. Now the other thing I want you to do is go to hover over Appearance again and go to Widgets. So when you install a new fresh instance of WordPress, it puts all these widgets in your footer bar or sidebar. So this is where you configure all your sidebars. So I'm just gonna delete all the things that are here other than the last text box. So you see this widget at the end called text. I'll just leave that and remove everything else. So delete that and recent comments and delete that and recent post, and I'm gonna delete that. So now we are good. And if we go ahead and look at our page, what I expect to see is everything just set up like the demo, and the Google Map will not show up because we haven't set up a Google Map API yet, and I am going to show you how to do that. But other than that, I think everything should work. So I'm going to refresh the site now, and you can see that the menu has changed. The slider looks like that it's coming up. So there you see the video and the images and the button. So I think something is wrong with our text, but we are going to look at it. If you go down, you see all the sections on the home page, and they are kind of animated. Here is my offer slider. So you can do that is there, and the services area with a parallax image, that is there. Everything seems cool. Here's the Google Map that I told you that is not going to work. So we'll definitely take a look at that, and I'll show you how to put the key in there. And there is the footer bar, and here are the 3 columns for the footer with the copyrights area. So everything is great, and the next thing that we are going to do, let's fix up the slider and see what's going on with the slider. So I'm going to click back to Slider Revolution and click on the Home Agency. I think what we need to do is to just slightly move the text or do something and save it. So I definitely see the text here. So I'm not sure why it doesn't show up there. So I'm gonna move it slightly, say save slide, and then we are gonna refresh it to see. A lot of times caching also causes things to not exactly work cause them to not exactly work the way they are. So you can see I slightly just moved it around, and now everything is exactly like the demo except for the Google Map. So now I'm going to show you how to fix up the Google Map again. If you are on my website, it has steps listed in step-by-step way. So there we have the link, and also in the description of the video I have the link on how to get this Google Map to work. So that will be my next step, and then I will show you exactly how you can change things around. We'll change the slider, we'll change this menu, we'll just put it here like a conventional website. I will show you how to change these text and these icons. Maybe we will just change this and put something else here, change these images and change this text, and change the header styles on the other pages. So just to give you a tour of this site, if you go to About page, what it has now is it has an image. So there's an image, and then there is a title bar which is called a subheader in B theme, and then there's a heading with these 3 things, and I'll show you exactly how to edit these things and create pages with the Muffin Builder. So I am excited that everything so far is going well and smooth, and I hope that you are able to follow this step by step. If you need to, you can go back and just look at the steps that you need to. So to generate a new API key for Google Maps, what we are going to do is to go to this URL that I've listed on my website as well, but we'll just go there. You need to make sure that you are signed in to your Google account. And once that website opens, what you want to do is to click on a Get a Key button. So once you do the Get a Key button, it's gonna pop up a window where it would ask you to create a new project. So just create a new project. I already have a few projects. I'll just create a new project. So that's what you can do. and change the name to whatever your site name is. And create and enable API. So then you have to wait a little bit because it takes some time to do that, and enable credentials. So you have an unrestricted key. So you have to just follow along exactly like what I'm doing, and you should be able to get it to work. So it spins and spins and spins. I don't know for how long it's gonna spin. Finally, I think it's done. And here is the API key that we need. So you can just click on this icon and it'll copy it in your dashboard. Now you already have this in your dashboard. What you want to do, so here is saying something about restriction. I'm just going to go to the API console and make sure that it's not restricted. It has full access, so my B theme can access it. So you can see that we are on the credentials tab here. The API key is this, and it says the key is unrestricted. So that's all good. We don't need to do anything else. And now what we want to do is to simply come back to our dashboard and hover over appearance again and click on B theme options. So this is the first time really that we have been to B theme options, and there is a lot of action here. So there are a lot of things that are very configurable in this theme, and I will point out some of the very important ones that you certainly will have to change or work with. So here what you will need to do is click on the global and go to advanced, and there you see an option called Google Maps API key. If you are generating a large volume of queries to Google Map API, get an API. So this is actually going to take you to the same link as my description. Okay, so that is done, and I'll just scroll up and click on Save Changes. So now I expect the Google Map to work like it is, and then of course we can always change what the address and stuff is on the Google Map. So I will go there and look at my menu and go to home page again. So scrolling down, and here we see that everything is cool and my Google Map is working great. And now we can move on to the next step, will be changing the revolution slider video, and I'll also show you how you can like put any image if you don't have a video and stuff. So to do that, what you need to do is to go to the back end again and click on slider revolution again. So here is the slider that we have. Why I decide to change this video is because I want to go with a conventional header, maybe with a transparent background. So if I do that, I want to have a video or a background that is lighter in color, or so my menu is visible when I do that. And we'll also change the subheaders in the other, like about page and these things, so all the menu is readable and more conventional. And I'll show you if you don't want to change that, what you can do. So going back to slider revolution, and I'll click on the home agency. Okay, when I do that, it's gonna bring up my slider. You have to be a little patient while working with revolution slider because it's a little slower than a lot of people like it to be. So I will just select that and click on this bin icon here to delete it. Says delete layer, yes. I don't want any of these on here. By the way, if you do want to know more about how the slider works, I do have a separate video on my channel where I talk very extensively, and in the resource section I also have a link to free slider exchange where you can download a bunch of sliders and just import them. So now what we are going to do is to double click on this video. That's the only thing remaining here. We do not have a OGV, so I am gonna remove that, and I am gonna remove that as well. And then I click on choose from library and upload files. I'm gonna upload a new video, so I will say select files. And here I have a video that I downloaded, which I think it is in a folder called WordPress tutorial. So that's right here. and I think the video is this sky.mp4. so as you can see, it's a 5.50 MB, so it's not terribly huge. You have to be a little careful when you're working with videos, because if it takes a lot of time to load, that will slow down your site. So that is definitely not something we want to do. If you want to do an image, then you can simply have a slider with an image and not a video. So it looks like that everything, or my sky.mp4 is uploaded. I'm gonna click on the insert button and say update audio. I don't know why it says update audio. It should have said update. Okay, so now it says update video. So I'm gonna update the video and save slide. So now if I go back to my site and refresh it, you will see all the text layers and the images go away, and you should see a new video coming in. So that's my video now, and that is what I'll work with. Now you can see that there's a light blue sky in the background. So if I put my header over there, then it will be visible and we will be able to work with. But I want to go in the same sequence of steps that I've written down. So I have everything here. So now you know how to change the revolution slider video. Next thing on our menu is to create pages and working with menu. So how we do that, like I showed you in the WordPress dashboard, all your pages are under the pages. So if we click on pages, you will see a list of all the pages that got imported with our sample content. So these are pages that were already designed. Let's go ahead and add a new one. I will add a new page and I will just call it example, so you can so you know exactly what we are doing. So we have a new page here called example, and we will put it right here in the menu as well. So the example is now there, and you see that we will use this tool Muffin Builder to develop the content of this page. But for right now, we are just going to create an empty page. So that's all you need to know. And if you want to use the Muffin Builder, that's I'll show you later how to do that. So example page is published now. So it is a page on my website, and this is the URL, which is the page URL. Now, how do I work with menus? To work with menus, you want to hover over appearance again and click on the menus. And here you see that there is a menu called the main menu. So the main menu is the menu that has home, about, features, our team, contact, buy now. So if you look at the menu right now, that's what it is. So what you can do is simply, and you see the pages here, the post there, anything can be on a menu. If you want to go Google, you can put a link to google.com here and just say Google, or some link to something external. But now what we want to add is the example. So I'm just gonna check box this and do that. So you see that example is now in here. I will just remove the buy now link. So you can remove something like that. And if you want to make it a sub menu, which pops out or does something else like a parent child menu, then you can drag this on the side. So this is nothing special for the theme. This is how WordPress menus work, but I'm just showing you in case you're not familiar with how it works. So now we should really see another menu item called example. So once I save this menu, what you're going to see is, and refresh this page, now I'm going to see that I should have another thing available in the menu, and I should not see a buy now. So if I click on that and look at my menu, now you see the example page here and you do not see buy now. So in this way you can configure your menu, and you can add new pages. So I did not show you how to add content because I want to show you Muffin Builder first, and then we can add as much content as we want. So moving on to the next thing is how to customize the header. So that is very important. Now, if you are happy with how this site is and how the menu pops out, and there is an action bar there with your social media, and if you go to the about page, it shows a picture here and still the menu bar is on the left. So this is a pretty nice modern layout. If you are happy with it, you can just skip forward and skip the part where I'm customizing the headers. Still, I do recommend watching it so you know exactly what's going on. So now we are going to make it more conventional. Maybe I'll change the color on this title bar to be green. I'll put the menu up horizontally, and I will show you what different options are available. So here we'll go back to our home page. And we'll go back here. Now we are done with updating the menu. I am going to go to B-Theme Options. And now what I want to do is, you see the second item here is header and subheader. So I'm going to click that. And now you can see that there are so many different styles that come with the B-Theme. So I do not know of any free themes that will let you do all this. So you can have a menu like that where there will be a bar and there will be logo on the left and menu on the right. You can have a classic, you can have a plain, you can have a static left, you can have a stack center. So the logo sits at the top of the menu and the menu center line. So this is a bunch of options that you can do. If you are modern and you want to do like a mobile app type menu, then you can even do that. You can go with full slider like we have, and you can go with that. I'm going to go with a conventional look and feel and select transparent here. So if I do that, you see this is the image that shows up in our other page's background. So we are not going to worry about that. The only thing I did was select this header style where my logo is on the left side and my menu is on the right side. So now I'm just going to save the change. And I will refresh this page. So once you refresh the page, now you see that my menu is right here and my logo is there and the action bar is there. So the first thing I want to do is to get rid of this icons and make the menu go up a little bit. So how do I do that? I go back again to my option settings. Okay, one more thing before I go ahead is, if you scroll down, you see this white beautiful bar and I really like it. It's called the sticky bar. So that is also configurable. So you can configure your theme to display a sticky bar, or you can configure your theme to not display a sticky bar as well. So coming back here, what we need to do to make the menu right aligned is, so these are the subheader options, nothing here. I think that will be in the extras. I'm very surprised that I don't see it. I'm sure that, okay. So that now we are done with selecting a menu format or a header format. Now we want to click on menu and action bar. So I want to make the action bar invisible because I don't want to see these things. You can, if you want, keep it enabled and add a bunch of things here as well if you want to do that. So now I'm just gonna, like, if you fill in these phone numbers and slogans, there start showing up over here. So if you want to do that, you can. I'm just gonna get rid of the action bar. So if I save the changes now and refresh my page, I should see these icons should go away. So as you can see, the icons are gone. Now I want to make my menu right aligned, and then I'll show you where you can change the logo. So you can see in the demo data, they are using a nice transparent logo. Always use a transparent logo to make your site look professional. Going back to options, and what we want to do is to make the menu right aligned. So I'll click on the menu, and the second option here says align menu to the right. So I do that and save the change. So once that change is made, I can go back here and refresh it. Now it should put the menu on the right side, which exactly what it does, and then I'm really happy with this look and feel. So now the next step here is I definitely want my menu icons bigger. So I'm going to show you where the font settings are and where you can configure font sizes. So going back to my option panel again, and I'm going to click on fonts. And here you can see that the demo data comes configured with a bunch of fonts, which they are using Roboto and Lato, and both are pretty nice Google fonts. And if you want to change anything, of course, you can make it Open Sans or whatever Google font you like. So all the settings are here. We'll talk more about the content font settings, but here I want to, so the main menu font is Roboto, and the size and style is where I will be able to change the size. So the main menu font size is 14 pixels and it is 400 regular with a letter spacing of 0. So if I make it like 20 pixel and I'll make it more bold, so I will say 500 medium or semi bold. 500, I think medium should be alright, and instead of that I'll say 1 pixel or 2 pixels of letter spacing. So let's see how this looks. So once this change is saved, I'm gonna go back to my site and I'm gonna refresh my page. So now, okay, so that looks much better to me now, as my menu is bigger and bolder and it looks kind of nice. So again, if you want to configure all the different types of header, maybe you want the logo here and the logo and the menu to sit after that, you can just go to your header settings and select whichever format you want and then make the necessary adjustments, so that now you understand how to work with the header bar. Now a problem with this is that all the other pages that I had, so my feature page will be kind of messed up because it has an image and this won't be visible. But we want to make our header more conventional so it works with all the different pages, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So actually it doesn't look bad, it's only that I can change the color, which I can completely configure over here. So I will have size and style and I can go in there and change the colors, but that's not what I want to do. I want to get rid of this image and put in some CSS that will make our site more conventional. So let's do that, and we will go back again to our options panel and we will go to our header and subheader. So how this theme works, this title bar where the page title is and the breadcrumbs are, this is called the subheader, and the area under behind the menu is called the header. So here what you will see is in the default they have configured an image. So instead of that, I will just gonna remove that image. So if I don't use any image and just save the change, let's see what happens. So now we are just gonna see some color that they have configured in the theme. So now we see a plain black color, and we can obviously change the color, but what I want to do is I do not want to see all this black box here. I want to move my title bar up and maybe make it match with this color or something like that to make it more appealing, make it match with the menu. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is write in a custom CSS, and the CSS is right there, which you can copy from my website and you can stick it right in. So what I do is body. If you don't understand what this means, you do not need to worry about it. If you want to understand what it means, then contact me and I'll show you in detail. So how you write custom CSS in this theme is you go to your option panel and select custom CSS and JS from here. Once you click on custom CSS, it's gonna open up this editor. You see that in the sample content they already wrote a line of custom CSS. So we are just going to put our CSS right in there. Another line, I'm just gonna specify a minimum height of 90 as opposed to what there, or maybe it's 120, so we might have to change it. So this is the one of the most frequently used snippets that I wrote, so I am just gonna try it and see what it does. Okay, so now we see that this black bar has reduced in size, and basically the size is 90 pixels. If you want to make it more wider or narrower, you can just change the CSS code here. Instead of 90, you can make it 100 and it'll come till here. So now we just want to make it like maybe white in color, because our logo and the menu is already black. So to do that, what we are going to do is go to the colors option. And once we go to the colors option, then we should have a header here. And in the header, we see that the header background is kind of black. So instead of the black, we are going to select the white and save the change. All right, all set. So now we are going to refresh it, and our header looks beautiful now. So everything here works great. I have a white, black, green. My logo is black and green. One thing that next I want to show is where to change the logo, but let's set up the subheader options as well. So subheader options, I think the only thing that we need to change is maybe change the color to match with our theme. And to do that, what we are going to do is we need to be in the same section, the color section, and we want to select the subheader background color and maybe just change it to green. So we want to change subheader background. I'm just going to click on that, or actually I don't need to click it. I can just paste the same color as the one above it, and it should give me perfect colors. So save the change again, and then I should see a solid green, or I don't know if I made this a green. I don't remember if it was the background of the okay. So this works great. So my green color title bar background is there, and I want to change this color as well to maybe white or black. So I will change it to white. So the subheader title color is what determines that. So I'm just going to make it white and save change again. And once that is done, I'm just going to refresh it. So you can see how easy it is, and everything is visual and nice. So now you have a nice looking header layout, and you can totally customize it. So instead of this, if I wanted to go with a mobile type menu, I could just change the header menu and I will be all set. So that's how you customize the headers. You can go to all pages and it would be customized for all pages at once. And I'm going to show you how to edit these text and use the Muffin Builder here. And our home page looks like that. So it will not have the header title bar, and it just has all the sample content that there is. So now we are going to move on to the next topic after customizing the header, which is understanding the Muffin Builder. So before I go ahead with the Muffin Builder and show you how you can edit all this content with the Muffin Builder, I'm going to show you where you can customize the logo of your WordPress website. So what you need to do for the logo is come back to the options, theme options, and click on the global, and underneath the global you will see the logo. So you click the logo and you can remove this existing logo and upload a new one. So how you do that? You can simply do that. I will just keep this in my clipboard so I don't update anything. I can remove that and then browse for something new. It's gonna take me back to this media library. If you want to use another logo, you can simply click on update files, select a file, and browse for your logo. So that's how you set up the logo. I'm just going to use the one that they had already, which is in my media library. So instead of uploading something new, I'm just gonna go media library, and this is the logo that I want to use. And the dimensions is 163 by 35. If you have a different dimension logo, which probably you will, then you can adjust the height of the header. So select file, and my logo is there. Now the next option is Retina logo, which is a higher resolution than the normal logo. They recommend twice the logo size for the Retina logo, and you can see that this is much bigger than this. So that is what you do for higher resolution displays. Sticky header logo, for example, if you scroll down, you see a sticky bar on my site which has a logo on it. So if you want a custom logo for the sticky, you can upload a different picture over there, and this is the sticky retina logo. So you can also change put a retina which will be a higher resolution of the same image that you use for your sticky header. So now that we have logo out of our way, we are going to get started with the Muffin Builder, which is certainly the most exciting and awesome part of my tutorial. So pay close attention to that, and I'll show you how easy it is to create awesome looking layouts and edit all this content using the tool. So before we even do that, what I want to show you is what are the different elements that are available. So simply go to the site where themes.muffinGroup.com/b/splash, which is the theme page, and hover over the shortcodes. And here you see all the different kind of things that are available to you. So typography has a bunch of elements that you can use in your design: images, progress icons, share boxes, tables, tooltips. You have articles, before, after, type, effects. So these are all the things that they have built you, and they are included in the Muffin Builder. And you can also use shortcodes for this, but certainly Muffin Builder is the easier way, and that's what I am going to show you. So if you want to see how a particular element will look in your design, you can certainly check it out. Like for example, if you go columns, so what are the different or some sample things that you can do with the columns? There they will show you. This is the basic type element. So you have 2-column layout, some headings here, then you can go down, you can have a 2/3 column and a 1/3 column, and like that. So you can have different things. So this is certainly not the most exciting one. So you can have a content block which will be more exciting, or you will have images that will be more exciting, or you will have like icon boxes or icon blocks that will be more exciting. So if you want to use those style elements, they are all there, and you can see what are the different kinds that you can use. So for example, if you have bulleted list, you can go with any styles here, or if you have an icon block, you can go with any styles there. And these things will be more clear once I show you how to use the tool and how to use these different elements onto your design. So that is great. Now let's get started with the Muffin Builder, and I'll show you how to edit the design. So it is really simple. What you want to do is to right click on the edit page and open in a new tab. So just like we had the two windows open with the options panel and the website earlier, we are going to have the two windows open, one where we edit the page and one where we can actually look at the page. So we are going to find where this section is inside of the Muffin Builder, and then I will show you how to edit that. So here is my page that is built with the Muffin Builder. So you can see that the default WordPress editor is empty and there is nothing over there, and everything that the page has is inside of this page options. So expand that page options and you will see all the design here. So here they are using an element called fancy heading. Then they have 6 list elements that they are using to display these 6 things. Underneath of that, we see another section. Whenever you are thinking of a responsive design, because this is going to work on a mobile, great. So they have created different sections into the design, and each section has some columns. So that's how this is working. So if you look at the page itself, there is a centered heading in the section which is 1 by 1, which means there is 1 column for that. Then there is 2 rows of 3 columns each. So you see a 1 by 3rd, 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 and 1 by 3rd. So going down, what we have is we have another section. So the section is like you have a container element which will be the full width. Then you have a wrap inside, and inside of the wrap you have the element. So that's how all the sections will work. You have the main section, you have the wrap, and then you have all the elements. So on the new section, you have a section, you have a wrap, and then you have a offer, slider, full. The next one, you have section and a wrap and a 3rd, 4th column. So you are taking 3/4 of the space, leaving alone 1 by 4th space because they have a parallax type image coming here. So here they are using 3rd by 4 column. So what is this is, if we go down, this 3rd by 4th area is being utilized for the content, and 1 by 4th you can see that there is an image here. So this image also I will show you where to put that. And then we have a Google map. So where is the Google map? If I scroll down, so the 3rd by 4 column, and there these are the 3 boxes. Underneath of that, here is our map, and then you have 3 more for the list. So that is how the Muffin Builder has laid out various style elements. Now how do we edit these style elements? So let's say I am a web design agency, so I will just make my content like that. Instead of we provide awesomeness, it should be like we provide quality web design, or whatever you want it to be. So how you edit that is you simply click on this little pencil icon on the element itself, and once you click on that icon, there is the title that you can edit. So if you want to go with the title, you can just simply say quality web WordPress. So that is all I'm going to do. I'm not going to go into detail of what these icons will do because we have plenty of elements to work with. I'll just save the change over here and update my page. So now my heading that says we provide awesomeness should change, and it should be changed to the WordPress, whatever I put in there, WordPress web design or quality work or whatever it is. So I will just refresh this page, and instead of seeing the awesomeness, we are now seeing quality WordPress work. So now let's explore this element where we see an icon, a heading, and some text. So if you go there now and look at this list icon and click on the little pencil again, you see that the list have an icon set up, and whatever icon is being set up will be highlighted. So we have the heart-shaped icon set up, and we have the title, and you have the content. So instead of saying the content that they have, I am just gonna say instead of the heart icon, we will use some other icon. I will just use I can pick and choose which icon I will be using. So instead of that, I am going to use this Gmail icon or the Facebook icon. So you can see how many there are, and you can click on this clock icon or this icon. So you select that, so now that is highlighted, or you can even upload your own image if you would like that. But we will just use the icons that are built in. Instead of saying lovely design, we'll say business productivity. And you can edit the content over there. So we design websites that will enhance your business and impress your clients. So one thing or tip about web design in general, you can see that there are more options that I can change, but I want to go with the default, so I will just save changes here. So one thing that I wanted to share with you was in any good website that looks visually appealing, the key factor is the consistency among various design elements. So if you look at all these 3 columns or all these 3 elements, there are 2 lines of text. So if you wanted, you can put much more text in here, but then it will not look uniform across the board. So you don't want to make something 4 lines and something 2 lines. So make everything the same. So going back, and I will just update this element so you can know exactly how to modify list elements now. Okay, so once that is done, I am going to refresh the page. So now you can see that the icon here is changed to business productivity. I misspelled productivity, but you get the idea. In the similar way, we can change whatever you want. So you can outstanding support, fast as never, always up to date. So you can change these things, and this is a nice layout for putting something that is great about your business. Now what about the background behind of my text? So it is green and it goes well with this color, but I want to show you all the different options that you have and what you can do with this. So let's say this is the pattern and this looks like an image. So if you go back to where our design elements are, I will show you one more. So click on the little pencil there and just say high quality work, and here I can select a quality icon that displays or depicts my quality. So I will just say the heart shaped here, or this this icon. So icon buffer is what I'm gonna go with. We never compromise on quality and never cut corners, no matter what it takes. So that is it. And what we are going to do is to scroll right down and say save changes. And while I'm at it, I'll also correct my spelling mistake that I made. Instead of productivity, I'm gonna make it productivity, and scroll right down and save the changes. So once I do that and update this section, now everything should update on my page as well. So I will just refresh the page, and you can see that the icon and the first two things and the heading is being modified. So this is how you modify, this is how easy it is to modify this section. Now about the image that is behind of our content. Once again, going to the Muffin Builder here, and you want to look at the sections properties. So I'm going to click on the little pencil behind the section, and the background image is this. This is the background image that they're using, home agency section 1. Let's say you do not want to use this background and you want to use your own background. So you can browse and put a background on there. You have to make sure that it is wide enough to cover all this section. Other option that you have is simply go with a color, and how you come up with a color code is you can just say right click on any element and say inspect. So this will give you a Google developer toolbox underneath of your page, and you find something that has a color element on it. So I was just inspecting this. So I see a border color element right here. So it's a good way for me to visually come up with color codes, and I can choose that green. So once I do that, I will get the color code right here that I can grab. So I will just copy that and I will paste that in the background color. So if I do that and I remove the background image, then you will see that that instead of the pattern that we had, the beautiful pattern that we have under behind the content will be changed. So if you want to make it gray, you can just put a color code for gray, and if you want to make it something else, then you can just choose the right color code. So I'm going to refresh the page now, and you will see that this patterned image will be gone, and what you will see is a plain green color. So that's what we have. I think that the pattern looked better, but I will just leave that there, and if you like the pattern again, you can just not change that. So moving on to the next section now on the home page. The next section here is an offer slider, and how an offer slider works is you can configure different offers or upcoming things that you want to display. I personally feel that this layout works better if you are using like an e-commerce type site, or if you like it, you can most certainly change it. And to change it, you need to again go to the Muffin Builder, and here is the slider. So what you want to do is to click on that, and then offer slider, category, agency, text align left, and custom classes. So what this is basically it's pulling a blog post out of a blog category called agency. So we'll talk more about the blogs. For the time being, if you like it, you can leave it there. I'm just gonna get rid of it and add a new section, so you can also see how how to create new sections. So the different options that that are available inside of the Muffin Builder is to clone existing sections or make them invisible if you want it. So I will just make this one invisible for the time being, and you can totally remove it as well by clicking on the delete icon. So if I update this now and look at my site, you will certainly see that the whole section is gone from my design. So we'll not see an offer slider, and I'll just create a new section and we'll put something in there. So if I refresh the page, you will see that we don't have that offer box anymore. But I would like to put in something there and put in a nice something with that displays some image and some introduction about your business or something like that to create an interesting layout. So what we will do there is simply go to this page and add a new section. So there you see the add section button, and you simply click on that, and once you have clicked, it's gonna put a new section at the bottom of your page. So there is your new section. Now you can drag the section visually wherever you want it to be. I use my mouse scroll button there, and we want to place it right where our section was for the offer slider. So before the offer slider, I'm gonna put it there. And before we can add elements to it, we want to add a wrap. So you click on the add wrap button, and now you have a wrapper that you can use to create elements inside. So you simply click on the add item button, and now you see all the different widgets that are available to you. So you can use icon box, you can use fancy headings, and these are categorized. So right now you're seeing all, but you can certainly use type settings or boxes or infographics. You can use content boxes, you can use content elements, and you can use loops if you want to display your blog posts or offers and testimonials and things like that. So I'm gonna go with a basic one, and I want to use the column type element. So I will use the column there, and once you click on it, you see a column element is there now. So what we want to do is we can click on the plus sign to increase the column size. So this will be half the space, and you can use the negative icon to delete to like make the column smaller. So I'm gonna go with a half and half type image and type element. So this will be, I will just make it half a column, and I will use some icon box or something like that. Like maybe we'll go to boxes and infographics, and we'll use a hover box, which will be a special image that has effects on the hover. So we are going to click on the hover box and make it the other half column that we have. So now we have just added a new section in there. The first will be a column. So if you want to change how they appear, you can drag this column and put it after the second column. So what I did was I made the hover box the left side and the column on the right side. Now we want to edit what the hover box is, and what the hover box is, it's like a flip box element where you can have two different images. So what I'm going to do is to edit this hover box, and here you need two images to work with, and they need to be the same size. So you see the note there that both images must have the same size. For the image, I am going to just browse the library and find something that works, and they have two images available. So I think I'm just going to go with these two. If you have your own nice images, you can use those as well. So I'm just going to select file, and for the hover image, I'm going to browse again and use that. So now I have two images that I can work with. You can certainly put a link that you want to link these hover boxes. So I'm just going to go and put a link there. So I'm just gonna go to google.com once somebody clicks on here, and this can be an internal link, whatever type of link you want. So that is my hover element, and for my column I'm going to edit that, and the column can have so many different things. So in the content, you can have whatever you like. I have some sample content that I will work with. This is just from my own website. I will grab like maybe this much content and we'll see how it looks. So you can put a heading like that and some text like that. So the heading needs to be, you can configure the headings by selecting a H2 element. I'm just going to do that. So once you do that, it automatically puts a H2, which is a heading, and you can simply update it. But I also want to show you the different options that you can do. So you can have the text alignment to center, because I want to center everything. And then you can have the image. So you can have an image behind this text as well. And then you have some layout and custom CSS margin and padding options are underneath here. So you can specify if you want to do padding. But first we'll look how it looks and feels, and then we will make the adjustments, and I will show you how you can do that. So update that. So when you're working with a business website, typically the home page will take the most amount of time, and that's where you create the first impression with your customers. So I think a lot of time needs to be spent on the home page so you get everything working the way you want it. So refreshing it here, now we have, as you can see, that now we have a text aligned center, and I just updated something. I want to move this text a little down. That's what I want to do, and maybe this hover element a little down as well. So it is configured to be vertical align top, so we want to make it middle. So how do we do that? We just go to our wrap where this thing is. So we just added this box where we have a hover and we have a column. So we can go to the properties of this section and like put some padding in there maybe. So let's go down, and here is padding top, which is 0 pixels right now. I will just say that the padding top will be 20 pixels, and padding bottom I will not touch that, maybe 40 pixels. So first I'm trying to figure out whether this is the right place to do it or not. So I will just update this page and then refresh this page, and I'll see what changed. So you can see that now there is some space 20 pixels above the hover box. So I was making the changes in the right places, and the text is start right at the top. I want to move this element, this column, a little down. So how do I do that? I simply go to that element and move it down. So I go to this column, edit the properties there, and now I want some padding before this. So I will scroll down to where my padding or margin property is defined, and I will just say 100 pixels here. So if I do that and save changes and update it, and refresh this page, now I have just moved it 100 pixels down, which is way too much. Maybe if I did like 40, that will work better. So I will just go ahead and make that change while we are making these changes. Going down, and instead of the 100, I'm just gonna do 35 instead. So you know exactly how to place your content where you want it to be, and that's the objective of my tutorial. So refresh this page now, and instead of 100 we see 30, and this is the style that we are gonna go with. So maybe we add this text as well to make it look more full. Going back to the column, and we will edit this text right there and put in that last sentence as well. So just save the changes and update the page, and now we should be done with this section. So I just showed you how you can add your own sections and how you can drag and drop them where you need them to be. Okay, I just refresh the page and now it shows me the other content that I had, and it also shows me the hover images that I put in there, and my text looks nice and center aligned. So now moving on to the We Provide Awesomeness, and what I want to show you here is the parallax type background that they have. You see how it is fixed and the elements over there are scrolling. There is also an image behind them, if you can notice, and there is some text over here. So how do we modify them? You can simply come back to it and scroll down to where these elements are defined. So this is the headings which says We Provide Awesomeness. So you can do something like, instead of We Provide Awesomeness, so you see some HTML over there, but they've already done it. We do not want to touch it. But if you want to know more about that and you want to learn it, then just feel free to reach out to me and I will be happy to provide you the detail. So instead of We Provide Awesomeness, you can see so I will do that. I will just change the text there and I will leave everything as is. You can also change the animation styles that they have. They have fade and down, but you can choose from a variety of things. You just need to save the change there. So we just change that. Now we have an icon box type things that they are using. So the element that they're using for this is an icon box, and they're using custom images and some text. So instead of using theirs, we are just going to modify that. So we'll click on the little pencil, and where it says Trusted People in the title, we'll say something else. We will just keep the H4. H4 means the heading 4, and here is the text that they have. So instead of that, we can say something like that. So I'll just copy this sample copy from my own website and see how big this is. So this much looks pretty good. So now instead of the icon, you don't see any highlighted selected icon. They are using a custom image like I was showing you. So we will just use our own image, something that I already have. So what we will do is just remove this image, and instead of that image, we can just browse for a new image and upload a new image. So I'm just gonna upload a new image, and I had already designed something called image ladyman.png, so I'm just gonna use that. So what I've done is I've done a circular image instead of the honeycomb hexa image that they had. So the icon position or the image position is at the top, and if you can provide a link to where you want to link this page. Maybe this page goes to your services or about or features or wherever you want it to be. So you simply want to put in the URL here if you are linking. But that is that pretty much. You don't need to do anything else. Simply hit the save changes. So you have to just repeat the process for the other two columns. I'm just gonna edit that and just change the images and not worry about the content. So I will use my own second image will be the iPhone, and I'll just say a title like, I'll just change the title to that and save the change, and then I'll go to the third icon there and edit it, and instead of doing that, and here I will just remove this image and browse for a new image, upload files, select files, and select something else. So this is just a Team Fortress 2 character that I really like, so that's what we are going to use. So I will just say save changes there, and now everything should be updated when I update the page. So the page is back. It's still exchanging data, and I want to give it a few seconds before I go about refreshing my page. Now I'll refresh my page, and we should see that this section is completely changed. So now you can see that instead of the icons that we had, I created these images by putting a border around them, and that's what we do. So we have soldier likes there, we have responsive design, and you can see that a link is defined for them. So these can link to any page in your site that you want, and you can see the heading has changed and the content has changed as well for the first element. So that is pretty awesome. The next thing I want to show you is how they are controlling this parallax image. So going back to the section, we want to look at the section properties. So we are going to click the edit the section, and the background image can be changed. This is what you are seeing right now, and the recommended size is 1920 by 1200 pixels. And the background position is called parallax. Certainly you can change it if you want, but I am a big fan of parallax elements, so that's what I am going to leave it there like that. And that is you can use anything pretty much over here. So you can gray out an image or something that you think will work for you. You can certainly use that. The next element in our home page is the map, and underneath of that is our contact information. So first let's update the map. So this is a map element that they're using, and if you edit this map element, they need a longitude and a latitude. Now what you can do is you can go to the Google map and figure out the latitude and longitude of your address. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So to figure out the latitude and the longitude of any address, what you want to do is you want to go to maps.google.com. And once you are there, I just have Atlanta, Georgia over here, and I have a Taco Bell restaurant. So I like Taco Bell, so I'm just gonna check what they have. I'm just gonna scroll in a little bit, and this Taco Bell you can, or any address, so you can search for your address. And once you find it, what you want to do is right click on it and say what's here. So once you say what's here, you are going to get the longitude and the latitude. So I'm just gonna copy that information, and I'm gonna come back to my WordPress site, and here that's the longitude and that's the latitude. So I have 33.8 latitude and negative 84.4. So I'm just gonna make sure that we did the right thing. Okay, so looks like that should be it. And the other thing, of course, you can do is change the zoom in levels on the map and what the overall height is on that section that it's displaying. You can also control what kind of display you want. You want satellite or terrain or satellite plus map. You can make it draggable or not. You can also change the zoom in level on the map. And then you can also specify what the marker will have. So instead of this, you can do Taco Bell. So you can put your own marker. And this can, like you can decide not to put the Google map on the home page, and you can also decide to put that in the contact page if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that is totally your decision. So I will just go with that, and you can say what the marker will say and put the telephone number, email if you want it, and just save the changes. So once I do that and update it, I should see the map done there. So that is how easy it is. That I keep emphasizing how easy it is because I've never seen a more easier way to do this. So they give pretty nice elements, icon boxes, hover boxes, trailer boxes, lists, and columns that you can very easily use in your content, and there is no restriction. Like if I want to add 2 more elements, I can just click on this and put an image there and a column there, no problem. So I'm just going to refresh the page here to see how my changes took effect. You can see that the Taco Bell here, good food, good prices, and that's the Taco Bell that we have. So if you right now we have, you click on this little plus, you can go inside and eventually you'll get to the Taco Bell there. So you can change, of course, the zoom in level to see what the default view will be. So that is pretty cool. The next thing is the contact box here. So I'm also going to show you how to change that. We'll scroll a little down, and underneath of the map we have 3 list elements, and you can hover over and click on the pencil here, and you can change. You do not worry about what this is. This is inline HTML styles. It says have any questions, so you can modify that text under have any questions, and you can modify the no reply at envato.com. So instead of that, I'm just gonna say I design smart at gmail.com. So I can do that and just save the change. Similarly, I can come here, edit this, and instead of saying this number, I can just put in my number, but I'm not gonna change it, just save it. And the third element there, you can modify the number there as well. So if you modify this is a tell type link, so people can already call you if they're on the phone. So now that we are pretty much done with the home page, I am also going to show you a simple way. I'll just build on my example page to show you how you can build more pages much easily and much quickly. So I will just do a very simple layout, because mostly on business websites the inner pages are much simpler than the home page. So we are just going to refresh that to make sure everything is there, and then we will move on to the new page that we just did. So now you can see that idesignsmart.com at gmail.com is there, and all my page is designed to how I like it to be. You see these 3 icons, you see this flip box or hover element, you see this new text that we put in. We change the pattern image here, and we change the slider, we change the menu and customize it. So before we even actually, let's look at our list to see what's next on our plate. Editing the home page we are done with. The next thing we want to discuss is contact forms. Before we do that, I'll show you how you can create internal pages much simpler and easier way. So we'll click on the example page, and it will be an empty page. We will just edit this page, and I will show you how simple it will be with Muffin Builder. So what you will do now here is click on the add section there, and you have a section, so I'll add a wrap there. So I have this, and I will add an item there, and item will be on the left hand side. I'll have an icon box, and I will add one more icon box, and then I will add half sized column. So I will just do that, and I will just expand it to be half of the size. And then in the first 2 icon boxes, I'll put images, or maybe I'll just have 1 icon box like we did in the previous one. I will just expand that and edit that. So on there, I will just have a bunch of text. So I will use my text right there. So let's say this is my example page, was my services page. So I'm just gonna put my services there. And I will want to make it a H2, and that's pretty much all I need. So save changes. And so we just did this. Did we just do this in the icon box? Yes, we did it on the icon box. Actually, we did not want to use the icon box, but we want to use some image element. So I'm going to replace that. We will delete this icon box, and we will add some image element. So for the image element, you can search. This is also a new feature, and this is the image. So you can do this, and I will just use a hover box, and I will expand it to like half of the size. So I have two columns, half is hover box and half is the column. The column I'll edit and I'll put in all the text that I want to use, and then I will just say save changes, and on the hover box I will edit, and then I can use something that I have, or I will just upload a new one. Maybe I'll just upload a new one. I have this image right there, so I can use that. And this is pretty big. This is 1920 pixels, so that means it will be resized to be half of the column size. So because I'm using it inside of the half column, and this one will just have some text. So we'll just do a simple page like that and update it and see how it looks. So open link in a new tab. Again, I'll just have to open so I can see. Okay, so this is a nice looking one, and certainly I can move this text a little down. Currently on hover it just goes away, but I don't want it to go away, so I will just use the hover element as well. So I can edit that, and the hover can have the same picture. A good idea will be to slightly change the overlay color from blue to gray to make it look pretty outstanding. And you can specify a link or something, like your products or something, whatever you want to do. Now again, one more thing that I wanted to show you was, I think there is something called the fancy divider is what I wanted to show you. So I can go with a fancy divider here, and the fancy divider can be configured style circle up, circle down, curve down, stamp, triangle up, triangle down. So I will just say circle up for the time being. Color top has to be like that, so it will be a color code which we'll adjust if we have to. And the color bottom and custom classes, I don't worry about it. Now what I'm going to do is simply duplicate these text elements. So I will duplicate this, and I will duplicate this. So I have a hover box here that I can drag underneath of my divider. Actually, I will drag the column first. So my column goes there and my hover box goes there. So what I'm doing is I'm providing some separation, and then there is a hover box here, column here, column here. So it's an alternate type style, and we'll just see how this looks. You can also provide some kind of separation by providing the background colors on the full width containers. So once it is updating, I will just go ahead and refresh this page, and now you can see that it has a slider. I could even do the bottom color to be the blue color and this top color to be white, and it is doing a circle up. So you are seeing a circle up, but I think I will like a circle down. So a fancy divider is pretty fancy. So instead of red, we want it to be white. So the white is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and instead of circle up we want to circle down, and this will be the green color that we have in the menu. So I will just grab the color code real quick. Okay, show me something that is green. Right there is my color code, so I will grab it from there and put it over here, and then I should save the changes and update it. So again, I can just keep duplicating this fancy divider as much as I want once I have it. So that gives me a quick way to do my pages. So now you will see that I will have a circle down type separation like that, and then I can do like other type of effects with that as well. So now I can put my one service over here with an image, I can do my second service here with an image, then I can go with another alternating style and just do my third. So before I wrap up everything, there are two more things that I want to show you. The first one is the contact page. There is nothing special really about the contact page. It is done in a similar way like the other pages, but there is a contact form. So you can use a plugin called Contact Form 7 that this site is already using, and you can create as many new forms that you would like. How this page is particularly built is they are going to be using a bunch of widgets or style elements just like we had. So they are using a map here. So again, you can modify the longitude and the latitude of the map, and then you have 3 lists where they specify the email address and phone numbers, and then you have a column that shows like things like write a message if you got any questions, do this, and our profiles in the social media, so you can edit all that. And then you have a column, and the column has a shortcode for a contact form. So this is the contact form that is being displayed, and now I'm going to show you how you can configure the contact form. So looking at the contact page, this is the map that I showed you earlier. Here are the 3 lists that you can change the icons and text if you want. You can delete them altogether. You can add new sections if you want. Here's the write a message thing that they have configured and their social media icons, and here is the form. So how do we change or configure this form? All you need to do is to simply find something called contact over here and click on the contact forms. I'm just going to leave without making any changes, and the contact form here is what they are using. So we can come there. There are the 1/3 column. So those are the name, email, subject, and your message and the send message. And then how it is done is this is just HTML. So this is not something you will be modifying. You can certainly modify the name, email, subject, message itself, and the button text that you want to do, right? So you see this button text and name, email address, subject, and message, and the your name, your email, your subject, your messages are special short codes generated by Contact Form 7 that you can use. Now you can configure here like the email addresses that this email will come in, to which email address, what will be the subject. You want to make sure that all those things are correct. Currently it says that this is not right because this is not a real email. So if you are using this theme, then you have to come here, and there is plenty of literature available. There is plenty of documentation, and certainly you can ask me if you're not sure what to put in there. About your messages will be the message itself. Once the form is sent out or there is an error, you can configure all these different strings, and in the form you can add new fields as well. So if I had to add one more field here, I will go there and I can say it's a text field. So I will say insert tag, and then I will just copy basically this whole thing till the starting of this div like that, and put in there, and the ending of the div right there. So that is going to be my new field, and I can put in a label like that. So I can copy that and put that there, and instead of message I'm gonna say my new field, and that shortcode for the field is text 907. So you can copy that and go to your mail and type that inside of the mail message. So this, whatever they put in on this field, will be sent in your email. So that is how you work with Contact Form 7. I'm sure you can figure out or you can find a lot of tutorials on how to do this on YouTube, but my objective was to just show you how simple and easy it is to build the site step by step exactly how we want it. Now exercise for you will be to get the theme and to practice with it, the various builder elements that they're using, and just doing things the way you like. One thing that I still wanted to show you is how do we change the footer. So in the beginning of this video, we went to the appearance tab and went to the widgets. So I will just leave and I will show you how the footer is done. So footer is having a text. view inside, and as you can see, there is a bunch of HTML that there is. If you want to simply replace this source of this image, you can just replace with anything in your media library. So the text, you can edit the text inside of the spans, you can edit the paragraphs, you can edit, and any icons that you have, you are going to edit that. You can update the links to your social media if you like. If you want to just put static text here, you can certainly do that as well. So in my scenario, let's put something like that in the first column. So you can do that, and text widget will take care of everything else. So instead of those that text, I am just going to use that text. So this text element basically just you can put any HTML inside, but this is not the only element, and there are a bunch of other things, like you can put menus over here, you can put recent post, you can put your portfolio, like whatever you can think of. So that is exactly what I was telling you, that this is not a website that we want to do, and this is not the only layout. You have so many options to choose from, and you have so many different layouts, and you can do this on your own as well if you want to figure out a layout on your own. I certainly don't recommend it on my own video, and I think this theme is very powerful if you're going to utilize one of their pre-built elements. So that is pretty much it. I will put a description to my website where I have documented all these steps for you to look at. Like and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it on Facebook with your friends. And if you have any questions, or you're stuck in any step, or you want step-by-step coaching or WordPress or anything regarding your website, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be able to help you. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, thank you.